Welcome to Season 8 of A Little Birdie Told Me. I'm your host, Rebecca Horan, and on Episode 8, I'm talking to Danielle Websdale. Danielle is a content creator. She's also known as Danny The Mammy on Instagram and shares her love of fashion, family, travel, beauty, fitness and lifestyle. She's also mum to 3 children and is very busy at that. We talk about everything to do with parenting and how she balances it all. I hope you enjoy this chat. To all my gorgeous listeners, because every parent deserves peace of mind, I'm thrilled to share that this episode is brought to you in partnership with Optimal Follow-On Milk, the #1 follow-on milk brand in Ireland. Optimal Follow-On Milk is a product you can trust. It's specially designed to support babies' growth and development as it contains calcium and vitamin D, which contributes to the normal growth and development of bone. With over 50 years of dedicated breast milk research, Optimal Follow-On Milk brings science and care together to support your baby's journey. Optimal Follow-On Milk, your life, our science. Important notice: breastfeeding is best. Follow-on milk should be used as part of a mixed diet from 6 months. Please speak to a healthcare professional for advice. To verify #1, contact the Optimal Care Line. This is a beautiful episode with a beautiful human who I actually met years ago, follow her, like lots of us do, and was like, I wonder would she come on the podcast. So Danny The Mammy, but it's actually Danielle Websdale.
Yeah,
so she's got such a fancy name, but Danny The Mammy is how we've kind of all grown to know and love you. How are you? Welcome to Little Birdie Told Me.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm so excited to chat to you.
I know, I'm nervous, but I'm excited.
I know, why are you nervous? Because I'm a bit scary? Or
I don't
just
know,
podcast?
I'm just like the in-person chat, like I'm used to talking on my phone or a phone call. I've been on a podcast before, but it's like literally a phone call. So just,
but this is her first big parenting podcast.
Yeah,
so this is
exciting.
I'm
excited.
You are so likable and your content is so gorgeous. I'm always like, I just asked you there about your life because I know you work full-time, practically full-time, and then create this beautiful content, and then you're raising 3 kids. I said, how do you do all that content? You're like, you make time for it. It seems so curated and smart what you do. Do you just love it? And were you always pretty creative?
Well, I wouldn't say I'm the most creative person. Like looking at other people and the TikTok world and all now, I can't keep up. But what I would say is I was always like an oversharer.
Okay.
I love to like document everything. I like to write. So I started when blogging was actually blogging, where you went on and you wrote like for a week and you actually uploaded it onto a blog. So I loved writing.
What did you blog about? Your life? Travels?
Yeah, travel. Yeah. So it would have started off travel, but I loved, when I was traveling, I always like had a little journal, and I actually don't know where they are now. I need to find them. But I was always an oversharer, but I definitely wouldn't say I'm the most creative person. It's something I'd like to be.
I think you are very creative, even how you put looks together. I don't think that's just a natural instinct.
Maybe I'm
But oversharer, do you mean like you just like, if you met someone, you just tell them everything, or overshare like you just want to talk about what you've done?
I liked documenting my life.
Okay.
Like I always say like Bebo and Facebook. I feel old now, Bebo.
Yeah.
But I was the first person after night out, like up with my digital camera, putting all my pictures up.
Yeah.
I just love documenting my life and like probably sharing too much. I probably shared too much of my personal life.
Do you think so?
At the start.
Okay.
But things have changed in recent time. Obviously, I'm a bit more conscious of what I share.
Like what? You shared your relationships or your...
Yeah, like I'd start talking like on my phone, and I'd find that I don't come on as much anymore and talk. I think, but with everybody, I think everyone has taken a step back. It's a little bit scary.
It's kind of a pity, right? Because there are a few people that have been on this season so far who are like, I used to chat away on a Sunday or update things, and I don't really do that. And I'm like, is it because you've even more following and you're more conscious, you have 100,000 or 200,000 followers, and they're like, no, I just used to get like not very nice comments, or I was a bit scared, and also I feel like now I have to put on a persona. I'm like, but you being you is what everyone really liked about you.
And
it
is like, I've always been me, like I've never changed, but I just think the world is a bit scarier now.
Oh no.
And I don't know, like I'm kind of naive to stuff like that. I like live in a bubble.
I like the in-person chats, because then people actually go, there she is. It's not just an outfit reel, or going on a day event. Yeah. Like I kind of like to see the person, makeup or no makeup, just chatting away.
Yeah, like you get to know their personality. And I love that as well. But what I find, like, you give too much and then people expect
and they
more
own you.
from you.
Yeah, they're like, oh, I know Danny, she's my friend. Okay, I get that.
I'd like to get back to that. Like, I love coming on for the chats and everything, but I feel like I'm holding back a little bit now.
Did you ever have criticism, and this is kind of a funny one, in your family or from your friends that you were an overshare? So I would have been much like you. I would have either had Polaroids way back. I would have gone on a trip, and when I first joined Facebook, if I was, in Thailand or something, I'd put up all of the pictures. I loved, and it wasn't, I don't think it was narcissistic. They weren't really pics of me, but it was all of the trip, right? And everyone's what they've done. And some people that I knew would have been like, why do you share so much of your life? Like, why do you put so much out there? Do you ever feel anyone's critical?
Not really. I think everyone just knows
that that's who you are.
Like, I've often put up things that I've regretted. Like, I remember, I think, how many years ago now? About 11 years ago. I moved back from Australia about 11 years ago, and I went on like a Thailand trip, and like we were kind of like, oh, we're these free spirits and all, and we put up a photo, me and my two friends. Well, I'm actually the one that uploaded it, like from the back. Like kind of hippy dippy, like clothes on from the back. Love it's literally all you could see. And like I remember family members contact me then, going, maybe take that. And I actually did take it down, and I do regret that, because you're kind of.
But why? It's your bum.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my God, Danny,
stuff
seriously.
Like that. Or I've often come on and talked, and my mum follows me on Instagram.
I hate the mom's following you.
I try to block that out, that my husband's family follow me, and
you can't think like
work
that.
People
yeah, but you can't think like that.
Yeah, you can't think like that. But my mum be like, why would you come on and say that? Like, why would you share that? And I'm like, delete, because even I'd write back to her and I'd be like, it's whatever, like, it's my page, funny? But at the same time, you take what your mom says.
Ever the Irish mammy, like, they love to ground us, like
they're
that
they're
outfit's
always
ridiculous.
right, aren't they?
Are they though? I mean, like, it's you being you. And I mean, honestly, putting up, if you think about the models in the world and people that put up a photo and they're dancing and their bums out, it's really not that big a deal, but we find everything so censorship.
Yeah, but as a mom now, like,
you'd want your daughters to be happy in Thailand with their butts out.
Yeah, I'd like them to be happy, but I think I wouldn't like them to get into the online world space.
True.
Yeah.
True. No, that's different.
Yeah.
So take us back, right? Because now you are living in Kildare and you work and you're creating this content, you're raising 3 kids, but you lived in Australia for a while.
Yeah, so I lived in Australia for 7 years.
Wow.
I think I matured before my time. So I bought a house when I was 18, which is insane.
Where?
Do you remember? In Newbridge.
In Ireland? Oh my God, okay.
But you couldn't do that now. But
why did you buy a house at 18?
I don't know.
Just giving
houses. I was so sensible. Like, I started my job like straight after school. So I did work experience. And I started my job straight away. And that's the job that I came back to after Australia.
Were you always like this? Quite sensible?
I was then.
Okay.
So I think Australia brought out a completely different side to me. So I feel like I got old before my time. I was 18. I was in a relationship. Bought a house as an investment. So we never actually lived in it. But you remember the banks were like back then.
90% mortgage?
100%. They were like bringing you. So yeah, anyway, long story short.
Pre-recession days. Yeah.
And I was in like a good steady job, but I took a career break. I kind of got, not scared, but I guess I was kind of like, oh, is this it now? Is this going to be my life? And then anyway, the relationship broke down and I decided to go to Australia. So
Why? Why Australia?
The reason I was going to Australia is because my friend was going and she didn't end up going. She ended up meeting a guy. And then I was after getting the career break from work, and randomly just 2 girls that I didn't know very well I ended up going to Australia with, because they were like, oh, we're going, do you want to come with us? And I remember just meeting them in Dublin about 3 months before on a night out, and like that was the first time that I actually had a night out with them, but that's who I travelled to Australia with.
So, God, that's kind of cool. I didn't really know that. So you had a relationship, you were in this job, your life could have ticked along in that trajectory, right? And you'd be a really different person if that happened, okay? Yeah. And who knows if that would have worked out anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
And you took a chance, your pal ends up staying, so you could have gone, oh, I'm going to stay too. You didn't, you went, which is brave. What were your parents thinking, or were they like, look, you're 18?
Oh, I've always been like really strong-willed, and I think my parents know that. Whatever I get into my head, I do. Like, it's kind of... so I don't know, I guess I didn't really think about what they thought at the time, selfishly, But I left, and
How long in your head were you going for? A year?
So a year, yeah, because I was happy in my job, you know, and my job would have been quite difficult to get into, so I was lucky to get in that way. But I was planning on going for a year, but then recession hit.
Yes.
So I basically missed the whole recession. So I don't even know what happened in Ireland.
And it wasn't in Australia, sure?
No,
it wasn't. It was Europe.
It wasn't in Australia.
Yeah.
A little bit. Like, it was kind of hard for us to get jobs when we moved over to Australia. But recession hit, and I came home after a year because my career break. But my job had stopped taking people back. But it was just kind of like, oh, could be 3 months, could be 6 months. Yeah. And I was like, do you know what? I'm actually going to go back. Like, ring me when my job is here. And then my boss emailed me one day and was like, they're giving out voluntary redundancies. Okay. So I work for a government body. They're giving out voluntary redundancies. And I was like, at this stage, I was in a new relationship.
Is your husband?
No.
No. Great,
no,
okay.
It's not, yeah. So, so I was in a new relationship then.
Happy.
And I was kind of like, do you know what? I don't want to go back to Ireland. You know, that kind of way. So I took the voluntary redundancy and I stayed in Australia for another 6 years after that.
Get over that.
Yeah.
So what did you love about Australia? What did you do there?
So I worked everything in Australia, from Subway. Okay, so that was when recession and you couldn't get jobs. I literally worked in the mines, cleaning toilets and dongas. Gorgeous.
Strawberry picking?
Yeah, like, I did my farming, so literally packing avocados, going through lemons to see, like, if there's a bruise this size, you throw that one out. I worked as a nanny, which I loved. Amazing. So that's where Danny The Mammy came from, because people used to like slag me and say Danny the Nanny when I worked. So then when I set up my page, they're like, just this is another story. I called it Danny The Mammy. So no one actually calls me Danny. So if someone says, hi Danny, I know they know me from Instagram because my name's Danielle. But anyway, so then I went on to like kind of working as what I do now. So it was like admin, PA kind of job. And then
did it make you strong? Because if you think about all those little jobs, like, you know, serving sandwiches or picking fruit or doing, and the hard slog of that, but still you were happy in your life. Was it actually good for you to find out all the different?
Me, but I've always been a worker. Good. Like when I was 13, like the generation now, it's totally different.
Thank you, Danny.
Yeah. So I've always been working. Like 13, when I look back on it now, I don't know if I'd send my daughter out at 13, but like I went and worked in ship fans at 13. Same. I was in Slane at Robbie Williams concert.
I was in restaurants, pony clubs, doing mucking out. I did Brown Thomas for summers. I did summer. I did everything for money. Like all of us did. There was it wasn't a given that you'd have cash. And if you wanted to do a big trip with your boyfriend or friends, you had to make the money.
You paid for it. Like my parents have never handed me anything.
But that's good, right?
I don't know if they would. Like, I've never asked them for any money, in that kind of way. I've never wanted for anything. Like, I always had the latest trainers or whatever. But anything I wanted, I worked for.
Do you think we're kind of screwing up our own?
A little bit, like, not screwing it up. Like,
but are you
want
strict?
To give them nice things.
But then it's us. Like, it's funny you say that, and then I'll go, good. Like, Sheila Shoka was on. She's like, we need to be really strict. And we need Brazilian kids and we need them to work hard. And I said, I know you like that. She's like, no. Like, the thing is, we give out about it, but we're not doing anything about it.
But I'd like to ingrain the same work ethic into my kids that I have. Because, like, I know you have to work for everything. Even to this day, like, I work hard for everything that I have.
You're pretty much double, triple jobbing. And even with me, I'm doing that.
Yeah. You are. Like, triple jobbing because you're a mom. Actually, you're supposed to be like a good wife as well.
Yeah.
And then I'm doing the Instagram space, like in the little pockets of time that I have, and I'm working. And you can't let that slide either. Like,
but I love that your kids will see that. Like, they don't just see one part of you; they see all of it. I'm the same. It's like house, life, admin, kids, work. But I think it gives you grit, and I think your kids seeing that it's not just all glitter pants, and it's like, I have to work for my money, and it's hard.
I always say that as well. Like, mommy's working because I don't like them seeing me on my phone all the time.
Yes.
But I'm conscious that all of my job is on the phone.
On your phone, yeah.
And it's just it's like a guilt, but I always explain that it's my work as well.
I do too. Unless I'm sitting there scrolling and not giving my child attention, I'll say I'm on emails. Like, I have to do this, and she'll be like, okay. And I'm very conscious when one of them grabs it and they think it's such a shiny, happy thing. I'm like, no, phones are not good.
Yeah.
So Australia is coming to an end or not? Do you meet your husband there?
So, no. So this is a long story.
Go on.
So my husband was over in Australia, and I think we kind of crossed paths, or we might have even lived with each other for a few weeks. Because you know when
what?
you're...
I wish
it's
like we might have
crazy.
lived together.
So he's from the same town.
Okay.
So I kind of knew him, but didn't like know him.
Yeah.
And you know the way you like loads of people live in a house in Australia, like that's the way it was back then. You were like renting rooms. You might have been I was sharing with my friend the same bed.
Yeah.
So I think like at one stage we could have been in the same house together, but that's another story. He left after a couple of years. I stayed there longer, so I was in a new relationship. That relationship kind of was coming to an end. Like we weren't getting on great. Now I did leave Australia, still been in that relationship, but subconsciously I knew when I was leaving that I was leaving. So he was like, "Oh, I'm staying here. I'll follow you home." But my grandmother she had dementia. So I left and she knew who I was, but then we were Skyping. So I don't know if there's Skype anymore, is there? But we're Skyping. She's like, "Oh, who's that?" And that was kind of a bit sad. So I had to kind of make that decision. And then I was telling you offline about my sister's 10 years between us.
Yes.
So when I left, my sister hadn't started secondary school and she was finished secondary school at this stage. So I went that whole chunk of time without having like that relationship.
That big relationship,
so I missed all her teenage years. So I was thinking about that a lot and decided to come home. Yeah. So that's what I did. I came home from Australia. As I said, the relationship broke down, which kind of knew was happening. I took kind of a year out and travelled. So that Thailand trip where I got my bum out.
Yeah, where she got her bum out, the infamous Thailand trip.
We went to like Dubai, I went to Cambodia. Like I went to music festivals. I went to like Melt in Germany. Where did I go? I just travelled a lot that year. But I was back working my job, but through agency because I took the redundancy.
Yeah.
So I could dip in and out whenever I wanted. Yeah. So I came back in January or December. So I kind of had that whole year kind of dipping in and out of work, but traveling in between. And then I went to Vegas in December.
Yeah.
So this is where Kev comes into the picture. So we had mutual friends in Australia. So some of the people in Australia were going to Vegas. They were still living there and we're meeting up. So someone told Kev that I was going, and it was like one of them middle of the night flights, you know, where you have to get up at like 2 a.m. or whatever. And he goes, "I'm driving, I leave my car at the airport." I got like a Facebook DM. He goes, "If you want to travel together." And like,
clever Kevin.
Yeah. We kissed on a flight to Vegas. Yeah, it's like full of wine.
Did he kind of fancy you and know you from Australia? Come on.
I don't know if we've had this conversation, but
I
think like he fancied me.
But you were in a relationship.
I really looked at him like that, but he's such a nice guy. Like I never looked at Kevin that kind of way.
Yeah.
But like he's such a nice guy. Like if you met him, he's literally salt of the earth. And we're just talking for ages. And you know, with them long haul flights, it's like the free drink and everything.
Oh, I know.
And then after a while, I remember we were just listening to whatever way, do you know, when you just look at someone?
I know.
And it was just really a kiss. Romantic. And that was it then.
That was the start of
together
it?
Since.
Stop.
So yeah, like I hadn't planned on getting
what age
into
were you
another
then?
relationship. So I was 29. So I would have turned 30 in the February.
So you've been with him for 9 years? 10 years?
10 years on the 15th of December.
You just literally went from like, don't know if you did cross paths to Australia, probably you did if there's a ton of Irish people there. You split with that person, come home, you go on a trip to Vegas, you kiss on a flight, and you've literally been with them since. Yeah. Did you ever see that happening?
No, because I got a 2-year visa for Canada. So I came home, my grandmother went into a nursing home at this stage, and I was just kind of like, my friends all had kids. Yeah. And it was lovely being home, but I was kind of like, I don't fit in here.
Yeah,
kind of way? Like
that happens when you go away.
They all have their families, they have their houses, they have their lives. And I was going to Canada, so I got a 2-year visa. I went to Canada by myself, did a solo trip. I've left that bit out, but I did like, where did I go? New York, Canada, to open my visa.
Okay.
So I was planning on moving there. Met Kev, and within the space of 6 months I was pregnant with my first child. Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah. So everything just happened.
So you got together really quickly. It was this big passionate relationship. You get pregnant and that scuppers kind of that trip to Canada. And were you okay about that?
Yeah.
Or scared?
I was scared because I was living in my mum's box room, you know. I came back from Australia and like the house was in negative equity because everything had happened. All this blah blah. There's no point in getting into that. But I was literally in my mom's box room, and then I was pregnant, and I planned to go to Canada. I wasn't really in a secure job because I was working through the agency again. But remember my friend Emer, like she always said, there's no right time. Like everything works itself out, and that kind of stuck with me.
It is true, right?
Because there's no right time. You can plan your life down to a T. But like things are going to happen, do you know what I mean? And everything works itself out in the end. And that's,
I believe in that too.
Like it does. Like there's so many
I
challenges.
You can force and push things, or you can, and actually.
But I would have never had a child if I had planned it, because like when was going to be the right time?
Always
do you
going
know
to
what I
travel,
mean?
find a new adventure, and maybe that settled you.
Was I going to be like, oh, I have to be with someone 5 years, I have to be married, like I have to have a house, I have to have, like, there's never a right time. Everything works out in the end. And
how was he about it? Was he excited?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, like he was like, I've got her.
He's so like, I don't know, he's so chill, do you know?
So he was happy.
Yeah, like I was probably up to 90, but he's just like, oh yeah,
we're pregnant.
That's good, yeah. And that's just the way he is.
So you have your first baby?
So we had our first baby, and we actually moved into my grandmother's house because she was in the nursing home. And within 9 months, I was pregnant with my second baby.
And did you plan that?
I'd say that we weren't careful. Like subconsciously, I think we might have planned it, because it was kind of like, I think it's so life-changing having one baby. I was kind of like, the thought process was, if you have one, you might as well have two.
Yes.
And our first baby was textbook. Like, I mean, a dream.
Really?
Yeah, like.
Not hard?
No, like it was hard. It was lonely. And that was only the transition.
Such a perfect word. Yeah. Such a perfect word. I love that you're saying it's textbook, because I didn't have that easy experience on my first. I did on my second. And it just goes like that, right? Sleep or feeding or colic or whatever, right? And what you're saying was, you know what, actually it slotted in, it was fine, and you enjoyed it, but it was lonely. It can be so, and I think women, it's really important to say that. So I think women who watch or listen to this might go, God, no, I had an amazing time with my two kids, or whatever. But the word is loneliness.
Yeah, no, it was. It was very lonely.
Everyone's in different stages, and you're here
Everyone's
with a tiny
at different
thing.
stages. And as I said, my friends had kids when I was in Australia. So they weren't like...
They moved on.
Yeah, they weren't like taking walks to the park with their newborn. No. Like they had kids in school, they were working. I lived down the road with my mum and dad, so that was great help. Like I just basically, is when Kev went to work in the morning, I just went down there for the whole day. So it was lonely, and that's why I always encourage now to, like, I don't know if those classes weren't available when I had Everly, like nearly 9 years ago, or whether I just didn't look for it.
I think they are, but I don't think also, Danny, they're for everyone. And this was also something we chatted about in the podcast recently. Not everyone wants to go to a breastfeeding group, and then there should be it should be just actually an open group for feeding. Not everyone wants to sit and do baby music. Some people find that quite intimidating.
Yeah.
I nearly think you have to just, if you see a mom, like, it sounds creepy, but in your local, like, I think you just need to speak to other women and help and shout out, do you want to do a walk ever? I think that's the only way.
But you have to, I think, like, I'd always advocate for people now to actually push out of your comfort zone
100%.
And go to those classes. Like some of my friends now I've met at those classes, but I didn't do it on my first.
On your first, okay.
And I think it would have been a different time for me, because I wouldn't say that I had like postnatal depression, because it definitely wasn't. Like I've researched postnatal depression, but I was very low.
Same.
For the first few months, like I felt like a shell of myself. I lost my identity.
Body changes, your face changes, your mind.
Everything. Like I just felt like I lost me, and I resented my husband for getting up in the morning and going to work, and
freedom.
Being able to have a lunch, and you know, that kind of way.
But Danny, you were, let's be honest, this smart woman who'd gotten a house at 18, was in a relationship, left that relationship, made big decisions, went to Australia. You were making decisions, right? You're running your show. I firmly think when you have a kid, it is life-changing, life-affirming, it's a rebirth. But like, you're not really in control of your decisions anymore, because that child takes all of that energy.
Your time.
So when you see someone going off to work going, have a lovely day, bye, of course you're cross, like.
And that's it, you're just in that routine then. Like some days it could be like 4 hours trying to get out of the house, and
boring, lonely. Let's be honest about the words with the newborn. Some people thrive in it, but I found it like, is this it? And like, you know, if she was napping, I was like, God, I feel so lost. I felt really totally my identity. But I do think as they start to become their little people, that's when it's beautiful.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, it was, looking back now, like it was such a lonely time, but Everly was such a good baby.
Was she?
Like it was literally what you'd imagine. Like like, do you know when you had a doll?
Yeah. She's
You
just
feed
chill.
it.
Is she like that now?
You feed it. You feed her.
Change it.
But like now she's a mini me, so I think she'll keep me on my toes.
Strong.
She's not kind of me. She's strong-willed. She's like bit of attitude.
Good.
But she was such like a
baby.
good baby. So
Aw.
that which made it easier. Like we went on holidays. But my thing was as well that I wasn't going to let having a baby like change me.
Yes.
So I was like, you know, really like going to hotels, like going on holidays
Same.
at 4 months, went on holidays at 7 months, and then Ollie came along, and poor Ollie didn't get a holiday till he was 3.
I also think
2 under 2 is a different
no,
ball
it is a
game,
different ballgame.
yeah.
I also think you probably didn't mind so much if you got pregnant with the second because she was so easy. I do think if you're a mama, and we've had a few of them who have a hard first baby, you are literally like allergic to
Yeah.
even having sex. You're like, never want to get pregnant.
Oh, yeah.
But you were probably like, if it happens, it happens.
Yeah, no, I was.
So he came along and what? He was a different ballgame.
So Ollie like literally cried from the moment he was born until he was about,
Sounds familiar.
until he was, I don't know, like 9 months old, I'd say.
Is there something going on? No.
So he had silent reflux, and it's just because this didn't happen the first time around, I didn't know what to do about it. And then Everly was 18 months, so I had two.
Danny?
Oh, that was the hardest time of my life, and that's kind of when my page
Wow.
blew up a bit
Okay.
because
I didn't know this. I would have followed you from a client and working together, and she's like, and I was like, I don't even follow this brilliant
Yeah.
woman. We worked together, so I would have seen probably the transformative, like you would have had a very established page, right?
yeah,
So I didn't know about this page I wouldn't have seen you in the baby days because I had a second baby when I met you.
yeah.
And I would have loved to have that to look at. So
Yeah.
what, were you quite vocal on it?
Yeah, I did. Like Instagram used to be, you just put up pictures and then stories happened, and I
Stories
could
is
see
great.
people coming on and speaking on stories, and I was like, I really want to do that, but like I had nothing to speak about. And then I had Ollie, and I was like, this is so hard. I think I can really help people here, do you know, that kind of way. Because when even to this day, people look up silent reflux and like resources in Ireland that can help with that, and they find my page because I wrote blog posts.
No way.
Like even there's
Oh, that's so brilliant.
there's another
Danny.
like influencer that recently had a baby, and she was like, oh my God, Danny, I was searching like silent reflux and your
That is
page
so
came up.
brilliant.
She goes, I'm in the trenches of it now. Like to this day, I still reply to people
Good.
that are going through that. But I was like, oh, I can really help people here. But I can't even go back to that space because it was such a dark time. Like I just remember standing there, like I held him in a sling for 9 hours a day, sometimes 10. Kev couldn't settle him.
Yeah, it's
He
always
was
the
just
mama.
crying, and I remember just one day going to my mum's house and handing her Ollie
Yeah.
and walking out.
Yeah. I think
That was a lot. That was kind of,
but she accepted that. She also
boiling
knew where you
point.
were at.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's such a beauty in your mom probably just going, it's okay. Like
yeah.
that. God, that just makes me so emotional.
Hard because you know that your baby's in pain, but you're in pain as well. Do you know what I mean? Like you're stressed too, but you're feeling guilty because you're so stressed because your baby's crying, but your baby's crying because they're in pain.
You're trying to make
and you're
them
like,
better and you
why
can't.
do I feel like this? Like my baby's in pain, but it's crazy. It's such a crazy time. But even to this day, when you said about going out for a walk, to this day, even with 3 kids, things are getting easier for me. But I always take time in the day, like an hour, to go out by yourself, and myself and my husband do that.
Good.
Do you know what I mean?
I'm a
Because
big
we know
advocate
we're
for
just
this.
nicer people, and we're coming back and we're like in a better mood for the kids.
Chatting.
Like we're refreshed. We're
You're able to have a
take
relationship.
on.
You're
yeah.
not able to have a marriage or even date someone and
No.
have babies if you're not getting time away, because then it's just stress, anger, admin. And it's like the minute you go and do a hobby, like I play a bit of paddle or I go to the gym or I get a walk, I'm just nicer.
Yeah, you're just
And
a
he's
nicer person. But it took a long time to get
When
to
did
that
Ollie
stage.
start coming?
So
right?
I brought him to, I don't know what it was called. Baby Whisperer was his name. I don't know if it's called osteopath.
Yeah,
Would that be
yeah,
the
yeah,
correct term? And that helped. So basically, before he was 1, he was fine. So
what about mental health wise? Did you go and get help with that, or were you like, no, I'm just going to
I
struggle through?
found that Instagram helped me because I was talking to people who were going through the same thing.
So you would chat it out, share your day.
Yeah,
God, I didn't know this.
100%. That's
And you started to grow community.
Yeah.
That's quite incredible.
Because I was talking, I knew I wasn't alone. So there's some solace in the fact that you're not alone, that other people are going through that, and other people are reassuring you, like, it's not forever. Like, I went to the doctor and I was like, we ended up in Tylenol, and he just kept saying, oh, after a year it'd be fine. But he was like 6 weeks old. I'm like, you can't tell somebody. Yeah.
10 months.
You can't tell somebody, but I get the thing, like, it's not forever.
No, it is time.
But when you're in the trenches of
no.
it, if someone says that to you, you're like, that's why that 6-week checkup is so important. You know what I mean?
And it's such horseshit.
Yeah.
Because it's about the baby.
Yeah, I know. But like, it's a good opportunity for you to actually go in. Like, it's up to you to actually turn around and say, you ask me, you have to advocate for yourself.
But that's shit.
It's ridiculous. Your doctor sounds really nice.
Yes, no, my GPs
I don't think
are
my
amazing.
GP is as nice as yours.
No,
like,
my
he wouldn't
GPs
have
are
said-
amazing, and like even reminding me about smears, which I'd missed for 10 years at Christmas, they're brilliant. But I think the actual hospital check at 6 weeks frustrates me.
Yeah, it's all about the baby.
It's like, check, am I completely prolapsed? Check, do I need physio?
Yeah,
check,
I know.
am I okay?
And I remember one of my friends saying it to me, and it stuck with me, that the only thing they asked her to do was get on the scales. Isn't that awful?
That can't be true.
Like, I can't really remember that.
That can't be true.
But yeah, she said the only thing they asked her was to get on the scales.
I feel like we're in the 1950s.
Like, who wants to get on the scales after having a baby after 6 weeks?
Thankful no one ever asked me. In fact, actually through my pregnancy I was never weighed. Maybe certain people if they've
I think I was
diabetes, that's nuts.
But yeah, isn't that crazy? So the baby was weighed and all. Then it was like, didn't say, oh,
That's
how are you? It was
romantic.
just
What a
like, now
lovely
you
6
hop
week
up on
check.
the scales. I know, it's crazy.
So how was Everly through the tough period with Ollie?
So I don't know. That's another part, because I don't. It's like a bubble, and the whole year was a blur. Like, having 2 under 2 was a blur. So I feel like
Would
I
you
made
recommend
her.
it?
Now it is nice for them to be close in age. So like, sometimes if we're going to like soft play or we go away for like a
They're
weekend,
similar.
they had each other. And I look at other kids in the playground that didn't have anybody, or they may be just sitting with their parents colouring, and it was nice that they always had each other. And even now, if they're going to like summer camps, which I have to put them in a lot of camps because of my job, you know,
they have each other for life.
they have each
That's
other like
sweet.
during the summer holidays. But I don't think they would be open to just walking into like a camp by themselves. Now, if they had no choice, maybe, but they always have each other because they're so close in age. But they kill each other as well.
That's good,
like,
though.
I'm
Bit of
literally
resilience.
referee, yeah.
I feel like that's all I am lately, just like bouncer. And it's just I'm like, just give her the thing
So
back.
exhausting,
What is
isn't
that?
it? I'm like,
But you sound like an asshole. I sound like my mum. I'm just like, give it back to her. Are you listening to me? And
Yeah.
then they're not listening because they have zero respect.
it's actually crazy how
My 4-year-old
spiteful
is
kids
so
are.
strong-willed. I'm like, did you hear what I said? And then I've actually decided that now, and my husband noticed it yesterday, he goes, you've tuned out. I go, now I tune out and let them figure it out themselves,
Yeah.
which isn't nice to listen to because
Yeah.
it's quite
No, it
horrible.
isn't.
But it's good for them.
Yeah.
Because
And I
just
think
walk
if you
out.
hear them fighting, then you just kind of like, la la la,
Yeah,
like
you
go
have to.
around
We
and
can't
you're like,
always
hopefully
referee.
that will just work itself out. You know, the kind
So you
of
decide after a pretty intense few years to have a third baby.
yeah.
Why? Did you
So-
want, is this a super private question, but did you want to have a big family, or was it like a...
So
Were you wearing condoms, Danny?
Yeah, I know.
Like, it's
So
super private.
I was kind of the same thing. We weren't being careful, but if somebody had asked me, was I done?
You weren't.
I never felt 100% done.
Okay.
So I think the decision was made for me.
Okay.
Now I'm done.
Okay, so you wanted slightly
Like,
a big
yeah.
family, but you're... Okay.
Yeah. I just felt like
Why do
there
you
was
feel like
room.
you're done now? That's interesting.
Oh, I just don't have any
You're at
maternal
capacity.
ins- Yeah, I'm like, my house is full, my heart is full.
Aw.
I struggled with childcare
Okay.
when the third came along. Like, it's really
I
difficult.
think you know when you're at your... I think I was done at 2. So
Yeah,
okay.
I just knew then when Ivy came along, like, my car is full.
Yeah.
The whole dynamic would change if I was to have another one. And like, I'm nearly 40, I'm almost 40 as well. But I just feel like financially,
Yeah, it's a lot.
it's difficult having 3 kids. Do you know what I mean? And I haven't even got into like this college and you know, I try not to think about that too much.
Sorry, they'll be working in Subway. Like we all had to work for college.
I know.
You're not funding them for college, Danny.
Just push them out the door when they're like
we were. Like
I don't think it's legal to work now, is it? Probably wasn't then either.
Or 12, honestly. And I used to beg for my paycheck because I'd be like, and I'd say to mum, she's like, figure it out. Yeah, I mean, the financial stuff, I do think for our girls, it's important. Like I got her a little kids Revolut and I'll put £5 on if she does a chore. Yeah. But because she feels like tapping is it's just money. I'm like, no, you need to work for that.
You have to work for
I'm trying to teach her. I think I didn't really have a clue about money. I worked really hard.
No, that's a good idea with the Revolut.
I was always spending it though.
Yeah, I know. My husband puts €1 a day into Ollie's because Everly's just a bit chaotic like me, for him to make his bed. So he thinks
that's really
like
clever.
that's a good thing to instill in them, that they wake up in the morning. Now I'm a bit of a disaster. I'm a little bit messy, but like kind of organised chaos, you know, kind of way.
€1 a day is really clever tip if anyone can do that.
€1 a day.
I also think if you're off coffee or off something for a while, I'm trying to do this thing where I put in 20 a week into my Revolut if I can afford to. And it's funny how by the end of the year you've literally could pay for flights or something. Yeah, that's a good idea, yeah. What's your third kid like?
So my third kid is like, I feel like she was never even a baby because she was here before. Do you know that kind of way? Like,
do you think it's a result of being a third kid?
Oh, 100%. I feel like she's talking since she's born.
Right, okay. Because I was going to say, is it just her personality?
No, I think it is from growing up around like
the two Madzers.
The two, yeah. Because like that, I savoured my time. I wish I was the same mother to my other two kids than I was to my third, because I'm older.
Yeah, I actually really resonate with that.
Yeah, no, like I'm older. I know how quick the time goes. I did all the classes. Now, I'm not saying that you have to do classes. You 100% don't.
But you jumped into it.
But yeah, I just like savoured every single moment because I knew how quick it went. Like I did like baby sensory. I did baby massage. I get out and walked. Like I brought her everywhere. And I took 17 months off work.
Yeah, I took a long time at 12. I never did that with my first. And I savoured as well. And I think you're right. Sometimes when you know it's your last,
you
grab onto it. And it's made me a bit sad when you say, I wish I'd been that mum. I think I was a great mum to my first, but definitely not as...
And I'm sure we were, but it's just,
I was definitely not as brave. I was more anxious. I worried about stuff. I took it very seriously. And I mean that, and obviously being a mum is... You should, but I took it very seriously.
But it was all new to you, so you were just trying to do everything.
Yeah, but I've more a sense of humour with Simone.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'd ring my mum and I go to shit night.
And you're more laid back because you know things don't go to plan. But the main thing was with the third baby was having the 17 months off work, and I have Instagram to thank for that. But childcare was an issue, so I couldn't even get her into childcare. So that's why I had planned on taking a year. But I ended up taking 17 months. But I'm so happy that I had that time with my kids, that I could pick them up from school every day. That I had the time with Ivy in the morning after I dropped them to, like, some days I just got back into bed.
I know.
And like just lay there cuddling her, yeah.
What do you think for women when you talk so honestly about, look, I didn't have postnatal, I know what that sounds like or is like, but I was low. And then my second, you know, I had the silent reflux and like I had to write this blog and it's helped people. And then my third, you know, I couldn't get childcare. Look at those three pillars there, right? You're talking about childcare in this country, which is either overpacked or overpriced. Then silent reflux and the struggles with getting help there. And then, you know, you're first feeling lonely. Do we have enough for women in this country?
No, we don't.
Like the fact that you're, you know, a content creator and yes, well loved, but are having to help and serve women. I have a gorgeous guest who's on this podcast, the Glam Shamrock, who is writing and advocating for women who have C-section scars and what to do.
And how Laura, to help she's lovely. We're the same age. And
Laura, she's amazing. Yeah. But like, you guys are having to do that?
Yeah, I know. But that's just, it's crazy, isn't it? But
women.
I don't even know what to say about it because I could talk about this subject all day because it's frustrating. It makes me angry. I think if my employers weren't so understanding, I'd have to leave my job.
Like a lot of women do.
Like a lot of women do. And then as you mature, it's harder to get back into a career then because they're looking for fresh. Like, do you know what I mean? They're looking for someone fresh.
I do think there's a lot. I think we're hard on ourselves as women. We're like, oh, they're looking for flesh, but they're not going to take a 45 or 50-year-old. I don't know. I think experience stands for quite a lot.
Yeah.
raising a family is one of the hardest things you'll do. So what you bring to a company is like crisis management skills, smarts, admin,
no, it is
organization.
But to me, it makes sense to maybe like if you are hiring to take a mature person, because taking me now, like unless you're flexible with your work, right? If one of my kids gets sick, and you can't discriminate. Clearly, as in like taking somebody with kids, but I get it as well. If one of my kids gets sick, the other one's going to be sick in 2 days, and then the other one's going to be.
What's the bet that someone gets sick and you leave your job and you still get your work done in the evening? Because everyone.
That's what I'm saying about having the flexibility to be able to work from home. Like if my kids are sick, I get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I log in. Do you know what I mean? Because it's all about just getting the work done. And COVID, as bad as it was, the good thing that came out of COVID is a lot of people can work remotely. Do you know what I mean?
Thank God.
No, they don't need to be traveling 2 hours commuting to get into work. Do you know what I mean? All you need is your computer and a laptop. And what was happening with me is I was working in a hospital during like COVID, I went back to work after 6 months, and both my 2 kids, like my first 2, everything on 6 months, seriously.
Same.
Crazy when I think about it now. But if they had a sick day, I was using my sick days. Do you know what I mean?
It's shit.
It's just crazy. Yeah.
It's you wonder why there is anger, and you wonder why women are leaving the workforce, and women are so valuable. It's not good for you.
And
not
why
to have
aren't the
women.
men taking sick days? Even to this day, if there's like a play on in the school, like I'm the one that's sorting it out. I'm the one that's going.
Like it is, right? Dads are so much better in the sense that they are parenting.
But it's because their
involved.
employers aren't as understanding.
That's
like if a man goes up to an employer and says, "I have to go to my kids' Christmas play,"
they're like and?
Yeah, I know. But that's the thing.
There
it shouldn't be any different.
Spirit in workforces in Ireland yet. There really isn't, of men legging it to go to a match or see their kid. It's still expected that the woman will leave the management meeting when the school calls sick, right? So it's not that men aren't up to it and don't want it, it's that they're still not being let. So actually by doing that you're
it's not the man,
but they're actually, because actually that drama comes from that lack of flexibility.
And it's like you saying, "Oh, I do everything."
Yes.
Like I manage everything.
What
like I keep everything ticking over.
Is it that you do more?
Sorry, what was the question?
What would you row about most in parenting with him? That you do more?
No, not really, because he does a lot as well. I think but this hasn't always been the way. So I'd say like at the start, I would have been like, I do this, I do that, I do that. I deserve to be more tired. You deserve to be more tired. Yeah.
It's like scorekeeping.
It took a long time to get there, but we have like an understanding now that both of us work full time. Like essentially I work 2 jobs. So we make time for each other. Like we've recently started getting into running, which is really good, right? Because running, you can do a 5K in 30 minutes from door to door. So I'd go for a run and then I'd come back in. So my husband might start like, I don't run in a bath. So I get the baby in a bath. The other 2 are having a sandwich. I'd go for my run, 30 minutes, I'm back. And then I come in, take over. He does his run, 30 minutes. Like you have to make that little time.
We all have to do it, and like we do it too. It's like TikTok, you're going to the gym, I'm going to start dinner.
You have to do it. Yeah.
And you're just better that evening.
You're just a bit nicer person. But like my husband, since I met him, he always went to the gym at like 5 o'clock in the morning. Like I'm not a morning person. Like I'm literally like last minute. Like I leave it literally to the last second to get up. But that's his time then in the morning. So I take care of like the breakfast, the school run, all of that, which is fine. So like I've like 2 or 3 evenings a week. Do you know what I mean? So I'd either use that for work if I have to. Like I do voiceovers like yourself, you know, for your videos. So I'd literally like just go out in the car and sit in a car park. And I would be working, but that's still my quiet time.
But it's your happy creative space, it's your zen, it's even responding to people, which is hard to do in front of your kids. You don't want to be on your phone. But you know what, I love that. Like you're like, it didn't always work like that. And I know our first kid, we just killed each other on scorekeeping. It was like, I did more. And then we learned that is not helping. So it's compromise, it's open chats, it's getting your exercise in. I think more and more women should know just getting out, even if it's not some big gym class, even if it's a walk, get out.
Anything at all, And you do. I feel like women, if they see people working out, if you're not in that space to work out, it can be a bit triggering. So I always say to people, like, it doesn't have to be working out. It can be like, you know, without plugging anywhere, but like a trip to Penny's.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Just to walk around and like have a little coffee and get that space. It does not have to be fitness, because it is triggering if you're not in the fitness space. But to me, it's mental health. Like to me, it's like part of my life now. I used to work out to be thin. Like I do not care about being thin. Obviously, I want to feel good, but I don't own a weighing scales. I would not step on a weighing scales now. But fitness to me was always about being thin. Like cardio, I'd be like run the legs off myself, or not run the legs off myself. I only started running.
Run the calories.
But I mean, like, it was always high intensity workouts because all I cared about was burning calories. But like, to me, it's just for my head now. I just need to get out.
It was like, look thin in our clothes, and now suddenly we've had kids. We're like, oh my God, it's so much more. It's getting sleep. It's hormone balance.
And it's about being healthy for your kids. You want to be around when they're older. Like, I want to be here and I want to be healthy when they're doing what I'm doing now, raising their kids, you know, that kind of way.
What do you love most about being a mama?
I kind of like love the chaos of it. Like I like having like a full house, and I'm a bit of a child at heart, so I love doing all the kid things, like, you know, bringing them to like the Christmas, to Santas, and I don't know, like it's everything. Like I love being a mom, but I also love being me. Do you know, kind of way? That. And you can be both. You know, you don't have to feel guilty about it. Do you know, that kind of way? Like, you're still your own person. When I'm with my friends, I'm Danielle, and I go home and I'm being mom. And when I'm with my husband, like, I can be, now he'll laugh at me because sometimes he walks by me and fist bumps me. All right, buddy, because it might be a few weeks before anything romantic has happened, you know, that kind of way. But like, you can be someone apart from being a mom, and you can be the best mom too. But like, it's just lovely being a mom, like someone relying on you. Like, I love when kids just turn around and saying I love you.
I know.
Like that is like the fuzziest feeling in the whole wide world, isn't it?
And it's not, like, we're not going to get that every day forever.
No,
someday
you're not.
That'll change.
And like, you're always going to have a full house, hopefully. I hope so. Like, do you know, I didn't know if I wanted kids when I was younger. I think when I was very young, when I was playing with dolls and I was like, I'm going to have a family. But when I was in Australia, when I was going to Canada, I didn't know whether I wanted to have a baby myself. And then it obviously happened for me. Now I couldn't imagine being 60 or 70 and not having people visit me.
I think a kiss on a Vegas flight will be something your 3 kids will thank you for the rest of your days.
I'm like, I always said to Kev, you trapped me, but I'm like, in the best way possible.
Like, he did it. He leant into the moment.
Everything happens for a reason, and that's
Danielle,
kind of what I think. Thank you so much for having me.
You're such a light.
It's like free therapy. I really enjoyed that.
I cried you didn't. But it's like, you're such a light on your space. You know, yes, I look at you and I'm like, you're such a ride and so fashionable and great, but you're also... You're putting up events and visiting places and being honest. I didn't know about all of that initial stuff, and I'm going to go back and stalk some of it. But you're so great, and thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
To all my gorgeous listeners, because every parent deserves peace of mind, I'm thrilled to share that this episode is brought to you in partnership with Optimal Follow-On Milk, the #1 follow-on milk brand in Ireland. Optimal Follow-On Milk is a product you can trust. It's specially designed to support babies' growth and development, as it contains calcium and vitamin D, which contributes to the normal growth and development of bone. With over 50 years of dedicated breast milk research, Optimal Follow-On Milk brings science and care together to support your baby's journey. Optimal Follow-On Milk, your life, our science. If you like this episode, will you please rate it, subscribe and share it with others? This helps me get the guests that you want to hear.